All right, all right, all right. What's up? What's up? What's up? Five of you. Hey, chat is open as always. Post your questions in the chat. Welcome to Rich Mberiket Live, broadcasting from the United States of America, Las Vegas. Happy to have you guys. I finally did it. I got my taxes out of the way. I went in this morning and filed my 2025 tax returns. So that is done. Now I can focus on 2026. So happy about that. So welcome to today's live brief. We are going to be talking about the UK Nigeria partnership to expedite the removal of those who are facing removal in the United Kingdom. This is only for those in the UK. So let's start with this. I know that many of you, when you look at people, particularly deportees, not every deportee, not everybody who's facing deportation is a criminal. So let's go ahead and get that out of the way. We need to humanize people. We can't be insensitive to people who are facing deportations. So there are some who, in the US, I can tell you about the US law. Some people get deported for overstaying their visas. I'll give you an example. So let's say you come in legally. Majority of those who are facing deportations actually entered the country legally. So as an example, you enter a country legally and then you are hired by a company. Let's say you are a data analyst or a software engineer, computer programmer, whatever it is. And during the course of your employment, this actually happened to one of my friends, but he didn't get deported. I'll tell you how he resolved the situation. This happened in Los Angeles. He was in robotics. He was an engineer in the robotics field. So let's say you come in and then you are hired by a company, and during the course of your employment, you lose your job. It could be as a result of downsizing. Let's say you get laid off, you lose your job, or you get let go, meaning you got fired from your job. In US law, you are allowed 3 months to find a new job. And that job has to be the exact same position. So you can't lose your job as a data analyst and then you go off and find another job as a customer service agent or a security guard. That's not going to fly. So once you lose your job, they don't expect you to leave the country immediately. You have 90 days to seek new employment in that exact same position in the exact same field. So you're going to have to find another job as a data analyst. If we're using a data analyst as an example, and you have 90 days to do so. In case you are unable to secure new employments within that 90-day window, then you have to leave the country. This is where most people get caught up. So the employment is one angle. Once that 90-day expires, you can't find a new job as a data analyst. It doesn't have to be, they don't care about the salary. So if you were earning $100,000 a year as a data analyst, you better get another job as a data, even if that job pays you $30,000 a year. That is 70% less. You have to take that job in order for you to secure your stay. You have to be eligible to remain in the country. So you got to take another job in that field. So some people do that. My boy did that. He took a lower paying job to stay in robotics and he was able to show that. So he remained in the country now. He's fine. He got married. He's living his life in California. So he said, these are not criminals. The moment where you decide after that 90 days to start hiding, you don't return back to the country of origin. I'm talking about the country of origin. That's usually where a lot of these things starts, at the country of origin. So 90 days goes by, you secure a job in the same position, in the same industry. I don't think it's the same industry. I think you can be a data analyst, let's say in healthcare, you can be a data analyst in aviation, it doesn't matter. But that position is what they are looking at. So you got to get another job in your position. You have to get another job. The industry doesn't matter. You can remain in the US, you can remain in the country. And then some, if they are unable to secure employment and you stay 1 day past that 90-day window, you are now officially illegal. You are not a criminal because you didn't hurt anybody, but you are now breaking that country's law. Another thing too, tourists, travelers, they'll give you a tourist visa, 3-month tourist visa. Before it used to be like 5 years. Because of everything that's going on right now, they've now reduced it to like 3 months or so. And then you come, you have fun, and then you forget. You see, that's what these people always say, oh, I forgot. You see, you can't forget. They're not going to buy that. You know you have a 30-day tourism visa, and then you overstay that visa. You don't return back home. You are now breaking the country's law. You are now essentially they call it an illegal alien. So those ones, what's up, CJ? So those ones I can see, they are not committing any crime, they didn't hurt anybody, but at the end of the day, you are still you have to respect that nation's law, the rule. That's it. And all of this is in your onboarding as if you're an employer hiring somebody, all of this is part of it. Throughout your interview process, they are going to run the scenario with you. This is it. You got to maintain your job. That's why you see a lot of people on the H-1B visa. Donald Trump actually came in and stopped that. A lot of these Indians that they hire, all these other people from Pakistan that they bring in, these guys, they literally come and most of them are mistreated. But in order for them to hold on to their status, they got to do what they are told. It's not a position you want to be in. If they say jump, you say how high. Unfortunately, unless you are just borderline, highly skilled, let's say you are an AI researcher, they will roll out the red carpet for you. Because the United States is hurting for technologists. They need people in science, technology, engineering, mathematics. If you have those skills at a high level, countries like the US, the UK, they'll gladly take you. They may even bend over backwards to accommodate you. So that's one angle. The other angle are the ones that they need to cough them up and send them back. These are the ones who go into a foreign country and commit felonies. Felonies are serious crimes that leads to bodily injury. You go and get into a fight. And I hear some of you Nigerians are out there fist fighting in another man's land. I haven't seen the videos, I've just heard. You have an opportunity to go abroad. You are in some kind of cult in Nigeria. You think you can go to London and continue your enter your criminality. You see, those ones, they can put a steel handcuffs on them and send them back. As a matter of fact, personally, I'm not myself go buckle them. Let them go. We don't need you. And then you have these so-called asylum seekers that are fleeing Nigeria, and then they are claiming political persecution. Somebody is after them. Somebody is trying to hurt them in Nigeria. So they got to run away. Now, you can't walk across, you can't swim across the Atlantic Ocean. In the case of UK, obviously you can't. How did they even get from, let's say, Lagos or Nigeria to the United Kingdom? So this is where the issue of the country of origin. How are they getting there? They need to be screened first. What is taking you to the United Kingdom? How are you getting there? Who's giving you this passport? How are you getting a plane ticket? You see a 21-year-old boy. You are a kid at 21. In the United States, you got to be 21 years old to buy liquor. And then you go to the United Kingdom, and then you file paperwork seeking asylum. The good thing about the United Kingdom and the United States is they'll give you due process. You'll come in, they'll ask you why you're here, who are you going to see, what happened back home for those asylum seekers. Oh, okay, oh, they're trying to kill me, oh, this and that. Oh. But let me tell you what does not qualify as a grounds for seeking asylum. Saying that there are no jobs in Nigeria is not grounds for seeking asylum. Saying that times are hard in Nigeria is not grounds. It's not a qualifying factor for seeking asylum. Saying that the price of fuel is 1,400 naira per liter is not grounds for you to leave Nigeria illegally. Keyword, illegally. You can live legal, nobody cares. Illegally. So these are not grounds. Saying that there aren't any opportunities in Nigeria is not grounds for filing an asylum paperwork. See, this is where your leaders come in. Because at the end of the day, we made them. We made our presidents. We elected our presidents. We made our governors. We elected those guys. So I'm sorry, it's not your fault that you don't have good leaders. It's not. Lack of good leadership is not grounds for seeking asylum. Your uncle in the village that the pastor has told you is trying to kill you is not grounds for seeking asylum in another man's land. You get what I'm saying? So you go and then they give you the due process. File your documents. Guess what? They're going to feed you. They're going to clothe you. They're going to give you a bed to lay your head. Who do you think is paying for this? The British taxpayers are paying for you to go and sit up there while your paperwork is being processed. You're not working. You're not contributing to society. You are just there sucking up all the air in the space, eating up their food, drinking their water, laying in their bed, watching television while waiting for your time to come. And there are only two outcomes. You either are granted access into the UK with conditions, or, and mind you, this is a court-driven process. The agents that arrested you are not the ones prosecuting you. This is a court-driven situation. You got to go through the immigration court system of the United Kingdom. I went through the immigration court system in the United States. It's a process that is not easy. It takes a lot of time. It took me years as a child when I was trying to immigrate into the United States legally. So the two outcomes are this. Stamp. You get that rubber stamp. Stamp. Access granted. You are home free. So long as you're not there committing crimes, you are home free. You can go to the UK and get a job that you can, so you can send money back home for remittances. Because that's what most of you do. You can go and get a job. Or you can go to school. 50-year-old Nigerians now, they go school. You don't turn 50. You want to go do bachelor's degree. I had a guy in Nigeria told me that. I told him, man, stay home. How are you going to live your career in banking? You are damn near 50 years old. Talking about, Richo, man, I want jackpot. I go school. Which kind of school you want to go? So for all of you 50-year-olds going to community college, abroad, whatever, if that's what it takes for you to, so far I say you did legal, it's okay. I think it's a bunch of bull, if you were to ask me. And then you enter the UK, you enter the US, and then you are expecting a six-figure salary job. If they not pay you $100,000 a year, you no go do am. If they not pay you 100,000 euros or pounds a year, you no go do am. Because going out there and getting a job washing dishes is beneath you. You don't want to do that. My dad washed dishes. A forensics clinical psychologist that he became later on, when my dad came into the United States, the man washed dishes. He was working a night shift when somebody mugged him. They hit him upside the head with a I don't know, some sort of like a wheel tire, that thing that they used to crank tire. My dad was assaulted in the United States on his way back from his washing dishes job while he was going to school, so he can create a life for me. I'm sitting here speaking through this microphone. I have a nice business. I have a beautiful family. Life is good. I dey here in my office to talk to now. So the job is beneath you. You don't want to wash dishes. You don't want to be a security guard. Because your life in Nigeria, before you ran away, you were kind of okay. So you go abroad, you don't want to do these menial jobs. You want a good paying job. Some of you want a shirt and tie job. By the way, shirt and tie job, they go away. AI is replacing that. You better start learning how to work with your hands. You better go and get into a vocation, a trade, become a tradesperson and specialize in trade craft. For all those of you who want to carry briefcase to work, wear suit, AI is replacing all of you. So then you go, you don't want to work this many jobs. You don't want to build your life from the ground up. You don't want to do that because it's still beneath you. Because what are you going to tell them back home? You're going to tell them back home that you're washing dishes abroad? As if you care. So, because you don't want to integrate yourself into the society and build. Remember, you ran away from Nigeria to another man's land, but you don't want to humble yourself to help build. Every single day I wake up, I help build America. And then, small change will remain. I carry am go build Nigeria. That's how it works. For all those of you who have turned your back on your country, that's how it works. You settle things abroad first. Make sure your family is taken care of. Make sure your situation is nice. And then leftovers. Buy small land. Build small something. So, because all of that is beneath you, you don't want to work. Then you get into the life of crime. I'm getting somewhere. You get into a life of crime. You start doing what? You start swiping credit cards. All of you that's given us these 419 bad names. Bad name. You start swiping. And then only two outcomes out of that. You're going to get busted. And then when they catch you, documentation you don't get. You haven't even satisfied your minimum stay abroad. And then they catch you and then they want to send you back to where you came from. Then you start fighting the system. You start fighting the system. So that's another angle. Those ones I don't feel sorry for, because you contribute to giving Nigerians a bad name, a bad rap. Remember, once you are in custody, you are on a, listen, another one be this. Nigerians, when they come abroad, come put una dirty hands on women. I'm talking about men. You are raising your hand and hitting a woman abroad. You see, you can get away. That's another thing too. Somebody I know got deported because of that. Because he brought that Niger mentality. Yeah, me. He can go slap the girl. Imagine your entire life out of the window because you go slap American woman. The guy is in Nigeria now, roasting. He's roasting. So you come, they even try to set up Jaimon Honsu. You guys know now, that guy from Amistad. You are provoked. You walk away. Jaimon Honsu did the right thing. He kind of walked away. The girl was freeloading off of him, leaving. The man just said, I'm not interested anymore. The girl, you can kind of tell in the audio, it was an audio thing that the girl recorded and sold to TMZ. She was freeloading off of Jaimon, and Jaimon said, hey, man, you got to go. The girl started kind of, you can kind of tell she was egging him on, waiting for Jaimon to touch her. So, Niger people, keep your hands in your pockets. If somebody provokes you, you have every right to walk away from the scene. Some of you are getting into these relationships. So let me speak on that. You are getting into these weird relationships that's not making sense. It's not working out. You know you can actually end the relationship. You can just say, I'm breaking up. Go your merry way. But some of you are coming up here, putting your hands on women. Some of you women are also coming here, putting your hands on men. You ladies are not saints either. Some of you are coming here setting up men. They will take you outside of Nigeria. This thing happened to one of my boys from Kenya. Young girl, young guy married a young girl from Kenya. The girl came in and continued the relationship with her boyfriend back in Kenya. One thing led to another. She left the guy and then brought the boyfriend to the United States. So some of you guys are like, oh, these are not decisions. Oh, they go carry Niger girls. There are many Nigerians, many Nigerian girls abroad that are stable if you want to go that route. I always say, marry who makes marry who you love. It doesn't matter if the person is an American, a British, a Chinese, a Nigerian. Marry who you love. It doesn't always have to be go marry Niger. My mama been telling me now, you got to go and marry a Nigerian. No, but this was when I was younger. Why do I have to go and marry a Nigerian? I'm going to marry somebody who loves me, who shares my values, who shares my dream. And I'm telling you, American women, good ones, they will embrace your culture. Not just American women, it's abroad women. They will embrace your culture. If it's a good fit, they will embrace your culture. They'll eat your food. They'll visit your family. They'll encourage you to build back home. You see, my wife has never told me no. Sometimes I have crazy ideas. She'll just say, okay, I get it. I get what you're trying to do, but let's do it, but let's do it smart. Because she believes in me. She trusts my judgment. And I am never ever going to put my wife in a situation where she's going to tell me no. So me, I'm strategic in a way in what I do back in Nigeria. There's a certain line I don't cross. Because our parents are set, our family they set. Now just me have to go. I've got to, me now, be Nigeria guy. I gotta have something back home. I know just fit. Come America, I can't do you know. I gotta have something back home. Something that calls me. So let's get back to the court process. You go to the court, the immigration court, while you're sitting up there in custody. At this point, you are in custody at this point. So it's not as if you're roaming free. You're in custody. So who knows how long the process can take. Some of these cases takes years. Guess what? You are there. You are sucking up the air. You are the British taxpayers are the ones funding you. And then once they stamp that outcome, denied, you've got to go back home where you came from. Whether it's Nigeria, whether it's, I don't care. The system is saying that they're not interested. So the president of Nigeria went to the UK, and then there's this partnership that they've just signed now. Some people, CJ, your friend, Peter Obi, I'm actually surprised that Peter Obi has not politicized this yet. It's called the UK letter, meaning UK is saying you don't even need a passport, a valid passport. We're just going to get this court-ordered UK letter, and that's all you need to return back to Nigeria. That's what the agreement is. They are trying to simplify because a lot of these people who've been scheduled to be removed from the country, they are waiting for a valid passport. And the UK system is saying, we can't keep housing you. We just can't keep feeding you. There's even some situations where they've actually offered people £10,000 to self-deport. And they are still there. They don't want to leave. So the UK letter, simple as that. Why do you need a passport? You've gone through the process. You failed to prove your case beyond the reasonable doubt that you're a political asylum seeker. You've done all that stuff. It didn't work. Not 20 years ago, in 2020, when I was going to Nigeria, I didn't have a valid, take that back. I had a valid passport, but the passport was expired. And I didn't want to wait weeks or even months to get a new passport. So what did I do? I went to Atlanta and I obtained a paperwork called the Emergency Travel Certificate. One-page document, 8 by 10, legal paper, one-page document. That's what I used to enter Nigeria. And then when I got to Nigeria, I did my passport when I got to Nigeria. The UK letter is the same thing. It's just a letter saying you are free to go. But Nigerians are dragging it on. They are saying that that's illegal. They are saying that, oh, you need a valid passport. For where? Says who? You see, those ones, they don't really have my empathy. I'm sorry. And I started in the beginning of this video saying that not everybody in Nigeria that's facing deportation is a criminal. And overstaying your visa doesn't really constitute criminality. You just kind of bent the law. Anyone that overstays their visa, I wouldn't really look at them as a criminal. They just kind of broke the law. So does being a criminal mean you break when you bend the law like that? I mean, does that constitute being a criminal? I don't see it that way. But let's look at this this UK this thing. I want to show this UK document so we can look at it together and see the position of the United Kingdom in this matter. This what happened, March 19th was when it came out. Today's the 24th of March. New UK-Niger partnership to expedite removals of illegal aliens. The United Kingdom is trying to make it faster to return Nigerians with no legal rights to remain. Listen, when you are stamped for removal, you don't have a legal right to stay another day in that country. Your rights expire the day that decision was approved. You've got to go back home. So this is from gov.uk. Is that it? Yeah, gov.uk. Visa overstayers, foreign criminals, and failed asylum seekers will be removed from British soil far more easily under a new agreement struck this week during the state visit of Nigeria's President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. You see now, Tinubu fault. Peter Obi. I'm still waiting for Peter Obi to politicize this one. And say that it's Tinubu's fault that Nigerians don't want to live abroad. Because you know Peter now. Nothing against Peter. You guys think I'm like an anti-Peter Obi guy. So I got an email yesterday. It's kind of weird. Sometimes this shows the mentality of Nigerians sometimes. So after yesterday's podcast, go and watch it. Where I was talking about Peter Obi and El Rufai. I got emails from people saying, oh, Richo, I want to come on the show so we can get at this obedience. Are you crazy? Obedience, are you crazy? You think I'm doing this because I want to get at obedience? No, are you crazy? I'm just a guy, a Nigerian, with a platform, speaking my truth, offering my opinion. I don't have a attack Obi platform. I don't have, and then somebody said to me, oh, you are a Tinubu guy. Says who? There isn't a single born Nigerian president today that I've ever voted for. So how can I be a Tinubu guy? In my lifetime, I'm probably going to get one. I'm an Obama guy. I was young when Clinton was in office. You see, my dad was a Reagan guy. My dad was a Ronald Reagan guy. And then as I was coming up, Clinton was in office. I liked everything about Bill Clinton. But then again, I was looking at it from the eyes of a minor. But I would say, if I campaign for you like I campaigned for Obama in 2008, man, I had a Barack Obama t-shirt, Barack Obama hat. I was a proud black man. Obama made us proud for 8 years. And ever since, let me tell you, the reason why I supported Biden and I supported Kamala Harris is because of the ties to the Democratic Party. I knew that if those guys, if so Biden won because Biden was Obama's vice president. So to me, it's almost like it's an extension of Obama for the 4 years Biden was in office. And I voted for Biden. I did the same thing for Hillary because I knew that if Hillary were to win the presidency as a former Secretary of State under Barack Obama, they are still all in that orbit. Maybe she can seek advice from. It kind of felt good to kind of have Obama in the picture. And that's why I voted for Kamala Harris as well. Because I'm like, at least she's in the Democratic Party. If she needs advice or consultation, she can always go to a guy like Obama because he's a guy that we trust his judgment. That's the extent. I didn't vote for Kamala because I liked her. I voted for Kamala because I like Barack. It's just like with this old Trump. When Trump leaves office in 2020, whenever he leaves office, 2031, whoever Trump endorses, people are more than likely going to vote for that person because of his affiliation to Donald Trump. That's how it works. So for someone to say I'm a Tinubu guy, I'm not a Tinubu guy. All I've ever said was, there's no man on earth that's qualified to lead Nigeria. But somebody's got to lead, and he was elected. That's all I said. It was you Nigerians that went out and voted. I didn't. You guys can say, oh, he was rigged, he did this, he did that. You guys still selected and picked him. He won 36% of the votes. Article won 26%. And Obi came in third at 23%. So look, if only 5 people voted, and 3 voted for Tinubu, 1 voted for Obi, 1 voted for Atiku, Tinubu is the winner. It doesn't matter the number of people that came to vote. So at the end of the day, Tinubu is an elected, he's there. Just because he's sitting there doesn't make him qualified or fit for office. Somebody has to occupy the seat. The seat can't be empty. The office of the presidency can't be empty. Somebody's got to sit there. So long as it's so long as it's an election, what I didn't like was what happened in the military regime, where someone will just come and shoot this one, become head of state. Because those guys were illegitimate leaders. So I am not a Tinubu guy. I didn't vote for him. I think, look, it is what it is. My only question for Mr. Tinubu is, where are Nigeria's sovereign AI investments? Because you know me, I'm the AI guy. That's the only question I really want Tinubu to answer. Maybe we'll do a podcast on that. I don't want to digress too much away. But I'm not Tinubu's guy. And I'm damn sure I'm not running a platform for you to come on and bash Obi any more than you can come on and bash Tinubu. So that kind of shows the mentality and the mindset of some people, which I don't. You see what I'm saying? People just can't just have a conversation. If you want to bash Obi and you want to create an anti-Obi platform, YouTube is free. Start your channel and become the Obi bashing channel. When I come on these live briefs, I'm just speaking my truth because I live in a working system, and I've also lived in a system that doesn't work. So my vantage is different. My point of view is different. So for all of you who are watching this, and because I speak critically of Peter, doesn't mean I have anything against him. There's another guy named Sowore that's been running his mouth lately. Sowore only had 14,608 votes in 2023. He contested the election when he only had he's running his mouth lately as if he's also the savior like Peter Obi of Nigeria. So I'll come in and I'll speak reality and I'll speak the truth. When I look at alternatives out there in the Nigerian political system today, I don't see a single human right now in the ADC, in the APC, in the NYPC, in the YMCA, in the LAPD that can run Nigeria. If you think Obi is the solution to Nigeria, fine, vote for him. If you think Tinubu is the solution, come this re-election 2027, vote for him. My only message to you is this. You have got to accept the results. Say, I voted for Kamala because I wanted Kamala Harris to win. And then when Donald Trump won, I accepted the results. That's what I did. And because, let's talk about Tinubu for a second. And because Tinubu is now the sitting president, we may not respect the man, but we have to respect the office of the presidency. That alone should just tell you to be a patriot. And then wait out his time, because that's really, he's not going anywhere. Wait it out. And then what? Election is coming up in 10 months. Go now. Go and lobby for Peter Obi if you are obedient. Or lobby for Tinubu if you like what Tinubu is about. But just at the end of it all, accept the outcome. If you want to be a true Nigerian, Obi is out there going right now saying, oh, we should all be brothers. We should all love each other. Let's be one. Let's be a nation of one. I'm okay with that. But Obi, when the election results come January of 2026, no file lawsuit to talk say Tinubu don't rig am again. That's all. Because when you go that lawsuit, you are supposed to be gluing everybody together. Okay, obedience, I lost. Let's all come together as Nigerians. Let's all give the president a chance. And then let's do it again in 4 years. Obi, you are still young. You are not any different than the others that have been running for 90 years. I kind of see Obi as a person that is like almost like an Atiku to me. He will run, lose, run again, lose, run. Atiku has been trying to be president of Nigeria for how long now? How many years? That's all. If you want to unify the country, that's all. You lost. You're going to lose again. Let's get it straight because you ain't going to win. And then when you lose again as the third place candidate, don't sue. Same thing for you to Atiku, don't sue. And you, Tinubu, if you lose, don't sue. So, Nigerians refusing to return home after being deported is not Tinubu's fault. When you had the slapping somebody, was Tinubu there? When you were filing your illegal paperwork to travel out, was Tinubu there? When you overstayed your visa, was Tinubu there? When you had the swiping credit cards doing romantic scams. Was Tinubu there? So let's go easy on Tinubu. If Obi were to be sitting down in office today, I'll probably say the same thing. Because I know that Obi can't fix 66 years squalor of behaviors. You think Nigeria's problem is mostly infrastructure based? It is. Number one, we don't have the infrastructures. We also, physical infrastructure and also mental infrastructure has to be factored in. You see, with physical, we can always build new power grids. We can always build new solar systems with money. But tell me how you are going to recalibrate the Nigerian mindset. That's another thing too. So when I say that Nigeria is irreparably damaged, is more, I'm talking about more than just physical damage. There's also that mental damage. Majority of Nigerian children today are born into darkness. They are born in hospitals with no light. So you are born into that. How are you going to then recalibrate that person's mind to see beyond the day-to-day? So you guys saw what happened last year in the during 30 December, when merchants, because it's the holiday season, they were taking advantage of travelers. Something that was 100 naira before became 1,000. People that will book rooms 6 months in advance will get to their hotel. They'll tell them that the room is not available anymore because somebody else came in and offered them 5 times more. And now you're leaving those people stranded. Squalor of behaviors. You have no honor. You don't honor your prices. You don't honor your voice. You stand for nothing. That's not a physical infrastructure deficiency. That's a mental deficiency. So even if these guys come in today and say, oh, we've solved Nigeria's insecurity problem, we've solved Nigeria's problem, you still got to solve the mind. I told you guys, I don't know if I told you guys this story before in the past. My uncle was stranded. His car got stuck somewhere in the mud. And then this uncle I'm talking about, he hold. And then he reached out to a couple of guys and said, hey, help me push this car out of this mud. The first thing they told him was, how much are you going to pay? They didn't see the blessing that was coming. My uncle ended up figuring out a way and got out of the mud hole or whatever he was in. But this is what I'm talking about. You come here, majority of the time in the United States, if you see somebody on the roadside stuck, you get out of your car and then you go and help them. I've done it. Because you would want somebody to do that for your wife. If your wife were to be stuck on the roadside, you want somebody to come out there and help her move to a safe spot. Wouldn't you want that for your wife and for your kids? In Nigeria, they no fit. It's always how much you go pay first. Squalor of behaviors. You think someone is going to come in and fix that in one term or 2 terms? You are just not being honest with yourself. This illegal immigration too is also a squalor of behavior. Because people they can't see the future in Nigeria, and they will do absolutely anything to leave. How are you going to change that behavior? Their mind is wired that the Europe is better. Their mind is wired that the grass is greener on the other side. US, people don't travel like that too. Squalor behaviors. Sorry, discipline of behaviors. Because everything that we need is here. Most Americans don't have a passport. Where they won't go? US has some of the best hotels. US has some of the best experiences. US has some of the best products. So everything that they need is already here. So they don't really travel much. It's because of the way that the system is built. The system doesn't force people to immigrate. People in the US, expats who travel out, is out of, oh, because I just want to. Let me just go and see what France is like. Let me just go and see UK, see what it's like. They are not living because they are running away from something. So we have physical limitations. We also have psychological limitations. So Obi no fit fix am. Tinubu no fit fix am. Buhari that was 8 years. On his last day, what did he say? I'm ready to go back to Katsina. I can't do this another day. Tinubu come take over. 8 years he was in office. Nigeria was in a worse situation than it is today during Buhari's time. So, I want to go back to this article. Post your questions in the chat. Post your questions in the chat. What moved me away from this was because of Tinubu's state visit now, and I kind of segued into saying that Obi is going to blame it on Tinubu. So the UK letters is this. It's an alternative identification document issued to individuals without a valid passport and is used to support you to return home because you don't have any more right to remain in the United Kingdom. And this UK letter, the purpose of it is for Nigeria to recognize it. And Tinubu went to the UK, shook hands, they agreed, they partnered and said that this is okay. You don't need to come back with a valid passport. This UK letter satisfies that deportation. Come back to the country, it's okay, we will let you back in. So this agreement was reached between the Home Secretary, Shabana Mahmood, and Nigeria's Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tonju-Ojo. It removes one of the major administrative hurdles to returning people, meaning the UK will no longer have to wait for emergency travel documents to be issued by Nigeria. The new deal adds to the sweeping reforms the Home Secretary has made to the UK immigration to secure UK's borders and remove incentives attracting illegal migrants to Britain. Anyone who abuses our systems, breaks our laws, or tries to cheat their way into Britain will be stopped and removed. Today's agreement is another step in the mission to restore order to the border by ensuring those who have no right to be here are swiftly removed. Nigeria is a key partner in our work to tackle illegal immigration as the UK's largest African visa market and home to thousands of Nigerians who have built their lives here. We owe everyone across the system some fairness. So let's see how many Nigerians have been deported. So it says here, the agreement marks a shared commitment to safe, fair, and well-managed migration. Annual returns to Nigeria have nearly doubled to 1,150 returnees. Returns and deportations of illegal immigrants and foreign criminals from the UK have nearly reached 60,000 since the 2024 election. So 1,150 Nigerians are deported yearly from the United Kingdom. So further agreements to launch joint operations following a series of high-profile visa cases include, so fake jobs. When I do fake jobs too, So they are cracking down on those with fake job sponsorship. Somebody with no job is going to say they have a job for you, come. Sham marriages is another one. And forged financial or employment records. A new standardized document checking system will verify the authenticity of applications. Nigeria will also review its laws to tackle immigration crime, ensuring the toughest possible sentences are handed down to offenders. What else? The partnership will build on work already disrupting high-arm fraud networks, preventing millions in losses, and protecting vulnerable people across the UK. Earlier this year, National Crime Agency officers and the Nigerian police force worked with Meta to uncover hundreds of cryptocurrency-linked social media accounts used to target UK residents, leading to the arrest of 7 suspects in Agbo, Nigeria. Man, I really hope that, again, you are not going to be able to stop illegal migration, unfortunately. But you can at least try to contain it and reduce it. The number one is the Nigerian economy. See, government is not always the answer to everything. That's like our mindset. Everything government, government, government. Government is not really there to build companies. Government is there to create an enabling environment. It's the way it works. When you look at the United States government, they are there to create a fair and enabling environment. It's not the business of the United States government to create companies. They don't do that. They generate revenue through what? Taxes. When a company does well, they pay corporate taxes to the United States government. When I work, I pay tax I just file my taxes to the United States government. Is how systems work. So all Tinubu and company can do, continue to create an enabling environment, if you even know what that means. I spoke earlier about the Nigerians' lack of involvement in the sovereign AI space. It's actually a word, sovereign artificial intelligence. There are so many companies right now that are partnering with foreign governments. They're helping them build AI infrastructures. They're helping them build AI factories, data centers. Africa is not even playing in that realm. We can't depend on oil forever. We need a blue-collar sector. You know what I mean? Blue-collar. Meaning go out there and be a mechanic, a good one. Go out there and be a carpenter, a good one. Go and be a plumber, HVAC, installer, roof installation, construction. These are all blue-collar work. You need a combination of both blue-collar and then white-collar work. But you guys already know AI is kind of replacing a lot of the white-collar jobs now. Until they build a biological type humanoid. A humanoid with the dexterity of the human hand, the dexterity of the human skin, the movement of the human body. Until they are able to build that, which is not going to happen in this lifetime, there will always be a need for people willing to get their hands dirty, crawl under that cabinet and fix that pipe. Get a power driver and drill into the ground. A construction worker. We need more blue-collar sectors. All of you want to go and be a banker. There's no money in banking in Nigeria. You want to wear a little tight suit and your little low fast so you can impress a girl that you are a banker when there are opportunities out there in the blue-collar space. So that's all the governments can do right now. Continue to create an enabling environment for people to come in and start businesses. It's a stretch though. It's a stretch though, because I don't know how you're going to do it without energy. You see, I don't beat this electrical power message to death. And I'm going to continue beating it because it's the foundation of thriving economies. You need light. And I know that most Nigerians have normalized darkness. They've normalized NEPA. They've normalized not being able to go a full calendar month without electricity interruptions. They've normalized it. I'm telling you, there's nothing normal about that. So we have our challenges ahead of us. To all those of you who think you can solve Nigeria's problem, listen, if you truly believe that you can, go for it. I'm rooting for you. But you also don't forget history. I'm rooting for you. But, and I'll close with this. You don't get the option to learn on the job. Nigerians are not going to give you that. I am not going to give you that. The office of the presidency is not a place where you go and learn on the job. So I don't know why anybody would want to be the president of Nigeria. I don't know why. I'm telling you, it's one of the toughest jobs out there. I don't know how they can do that. But if that is your forte, go for it. But go and earn the Nigerian vote. Like Tinubu did. He worked his ass off. He made enough case that he won 36%, which was all he needed. You see, you don't have to sweep the entire country. It doesn't work like that. Even here in the United States, no president has ever won, won the entire state in America. It doesn't happen like that. California has always voted Democratic because they are more liberal in Cali. Texas, where my dad lived, they are more Republican. They are more conservative. So, Lagos is always going to be a progressive state. If Obi ran 10 times out of 10 times, he's probably going to win Lagos. He's always going to win Abuja. Because those are liberal. They are liberal, progressive, kind of tailored to somebody like a Peter Obi, he's young. But then, the sleepy states, I call them the sleepy states. The Zamfaras, Niger, Kaduna, Sokoto, Kanu, Bayelsa, all those sleepy states. And those are the states that elect presidents. So good luck to everybody who's running. We're going to be talking about it. Go to America.com. Pick up our seasoning on America.com. I'll be back. I don't know what I want to talk about next time, but I'll figure it out. But be sure to though. Like, share, and comment. And make sure that you subscribe. So when I'm back, you are notified. You see, let me tell you one thing. Just because I schedule for 2 p.m. doesn't mean I come on at 2 p.m. I'm only scheduling it ahead because I may have one or two things to do before then. So I'm kind of giving myself a buffer. That's why I do that. And that's why you guys see I might schedule something for 2 p.m. And if I'm done with what I'm doing by, let's say, 1:15, 1:30, I just come on live. Because I don't want this to be a job. I don't want my lives to be a set schedule. Well, every 2 p.m. every time will come out. No. If I want to do it at 6 o'clock in the morning, I'll do it. If I want to do it at 2 o'clock, I do it. If I want to do it, I do what I want to do. So every time you see me schedule something, don't anticipate that that's the exact time I'm going to come live. That is why you should hit the notification bell. So when I'm live, you are notified by your inbox. All right, guys. What are your thoughts? Is it a good partnership? It's easier for both countries to remove who they don't want. You would want the same for Nigeria. If British nationals are in Nigeria committing crimes, wouldn't you want them out of your country? As a taxpayer in Nigeria, well, most of you don't pay taxes, but let's just pretend that you pay taxes. Wouldn't you rather your taxes go towards road building, infrastructure building, or would you rather prefer your tax naira to go towards feeding a deportee? It's the same way the British people feel about Nigerians sitting up there collecting free air, free food, free accommodation. Look at it also from the British angle. We welcome legal immigration, but If you are marked for deportation, you gotta go. Me, if the thing am me, I go just tie rope for pigeon feet, tie small letter, send you go. At least these guys are trying. They're trying to humanize you a little bit. They're trying to make it, just give a little document. And you're talking about you want a passport. So you can use a valid passport to go and then enter another country that you are not welcomed. And for all the Nigerians abroad, UK, US, doing Canada, doing great things, thank you. And then for those who want to migrate, it's okay. Just do it legally. It may take longer. It may not move as fast as you want it to move, but at least you are able to go to another country and enter the country with dignity. With dignity. You don't want a situation where you are going and then you are hiding. You are creeping around because your paperwork is not right. You are using somebody else's name, somebody else's age. I've heard of you. I've heard of all of you. Do it legally. So you can leave your home every day and go about your life. And another thing too, take any job you can. There's no, listen, honest work is all it's about. When you wash dishes, it's honest work. You are earning an honest wage. It doesn't mean you're going to be a dishwasher forever. My dad washed dishes in college and he became a clinical forensic psychologist for the state of Texas. He retired as a clinical forensics psychologist for the state of Texas, but he started as a dishwasher. Some of you are trying to take the elevator. You don't want to take the stairs. Take any job you can. At least you maintain your status. Just get a job and work that job to the best of your ability. There's no shame in going to work to take care of yourself. And I'll close with this. Prioritize yourself overseas Nigerians. You don't owe people back home anything. You damn sure don't owe them your freedom and your dignity. For those of you who are in relationships and you are prioritizing people back home, you go, you make money, before you pay your bills, you don't send them go Nigeria. You start fighting with your wife and husband because you can't pay your bills abroad, but you are paying bills for people back home. Prioritize yourself. Prioritize your family. I'll do another podcast on that. Maybe, possibly the next one might be on prioritizing oneself and one's family abroad. Maybe we'll do that next. But if you find this informative, thank you so much for your time. It's 2:26 p.m. in Las Vegas, Nevada. Rich and Barakat, yours truly. Visit Barakat.com. Pick up our brand. Pick it up today. Buy the 3-pack for $29.97 and get free shipping. All right, guys. Talk to you guys later.